Hey guys, Star77 Productions back at you with another review video today. And as usual, you can follow the links in the description below to purchase these products on Amazon. And we fully endorse and like these products, and please like and subscribe as well. Today we are going to be looking at the two VR headsets from Meta, the Quest 2 and the Quest 3. Which one we like better, which one we recommend, and just giving you an overall quick review of the two headsets here. Now that we've owned these for quite some time, we definitely know the pros and cons to each. So let's get started right away. First, we'll look at the Quest 2 here. A little bit bigger of a footprint, but a cheaper and a very well done VR headset if you are in about the $250 price point. So which one of these should you get? You should definitely get the Quest 3. It is faster, but has better graphics, about the same quality battery life, smaller footprint, pancake lenses, easier to see and adjust, feels good on your head even though it's slightly heavier. Controllers are so much smaller and easier to use, but then again it is in the $500 price point. If you need to stay around $250, definitely the Quest 2 is no problem at that price point. Very good, not quite as high quality definition for your games. The battery life is about the same. It's a little less comfortable. It's a little bit bulkier, and it does not have the pancake lenses. A little bit slower as far as processing speed and the RAM capability in there. But still, for $250, if you're just getting into VR, haven't really experienced, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell too much between these two headsets. And at $250, that still gives you quite a bit of room for games. You can find some games, but the bigger titles are going to be around $30, and they're going to start to add up pretty quickly unless you buy the subscription plan for the games through Meta, which is another cool feature you can do these days. But if you can up your price to the new Quest 3, around that $500, I think you can find them maybe for $450. But you can also get a game bundled in with that as well and just get the more upgraded experience. So I will quickly run through the specs, for both of them, and then kind of let you know what I think the pros and cons are to each of these and what to expect whichever route you go. So the Meta Quest 3 obviously is quite a bit smaller. I mean, it comes in this small box here. I got the 128 gigabyte one. And what's included in the box is the 3 headset, the standard facial interface pre-installed. You get your 2 controllers, your wrist strap, power adapter, charging cable, and 2 batteries. And then when you are looking at the Quest 2 box, quite a bit bigger, just because the controllers are bigger, but you pretty much get the same thing in this box as well. Your headset, charger, batteries, 2 controllers, and the standard package for each. And then as far as specs are concerned, let's see here. The Quest 2 is 1830 by 1920, which is still high def, and you still get 90 hertz refresh rate, which is really good. The Quest 3, you bump that up a little bit, so it's 2000 by 2200. It's still at the 90 hertz refresh rate. So you get a little bit more graphics capability, a little bit more crystal clear in the Quest 3. The Quest 2 does not have, the big high quality front facing camera lenses like the Quest 3 does, as you can see here. So when you're submerged in VR and you're looking at the real world, you can actually see it in color in the Quest 3, which makes it really cool. So if you need to do something in the real world, step out of your boundary, you're going to see everything in true life color, helps you walk around the house or your environment no problem without tripping on things. Where it is a little bit more difficult in the Quest 2, where everything's black and white and grainy and it's just really hard to see. I mean, you can almost answer a phone call in the Quest 3 because of these high quality cameras on the outside. As far as the processing power, they both use the Snapdragon, but Quest 3 comes in the Gen 2 model, so it's going to be a little bit faster, a little bit smoother. You're not going to get some of that lag that you would see in Quest 2 as far as some of those higher quality games that they have. And then the storage capability, they both have 128, but I believe on the Quest 3 you can get up to 512 gigabyte storage. I've never been too concerned with storage because some of these games are smaller. Rarely will you see a game going over 15 gigabytes, maybe 20 gigabytes. We are starting to see some games getting up there, like Asgard's Wrath, and some of these newer games are starting to push 20 gigabytes, so you may want to consider, the bigger storage room, but 128 can easily allow you to hold 10 games, and then of course you can always delete and remove as needed. All right, what else? The RAM, Quest 2 only has 6 gigabytes of RAM, and then the Quest 3 has 8 gigabytes of RAM. So that's why, you don't get as much lag. It has quite a bit more memory work to pull in your graphics and not have, have all that detail, but not have that lag come through. Now with the Quest 2, I'm not hating on the Quest 2 at all. This thing is awesome for VR experience. It, at that price point, you can do quite a bit with it. Looks a little different here because I do have this blue cover on it, and I had blue covers for the controllers, but you can see it here in the picture as well. They look pretty similar. And then they both have about 2 to 3 hours battery life. You can always get a battery expansion pack. I found that the battery on the Quest 3 would drain a little bit faster than the Quest 2, and I just think it's because it's quite a bit more demanding. With that extra memory, with those higher processing speeds, with about the same size battery in there. So I definitely recommend buying this external battery pack that you can get on Amazon as well, and I'll put a link as well. Makes it a little bit more comfortable, and then you just plug it in back here, and then that adds about, another hour or two in battery life, because you can just circumvent that and charge it with the charging port here straight into the Quest 3. Let's see what else we got. So the Quest 3 is definitely better in most specs, about the same battery life. It does have pancake lenses, which are the low profile lenses in here, so they're a little bit easier to adjust and a little bit easier on the eye, and help with that clarity and high definition for the VR world there. Where these on the Quest 2 are not quite the pancake lenses. You can see these little mini ridges on here as well, which creates a little bit of distortion and doesn't quite feel as submersive as the Quest 3 when it comes to the VR world. And the Quest 3 is a little bit heavier on your head because it does have all those components, but you really don't notice, especially if you get a slightly better adjustable strap with the external battery on it. It sits closer to your head, so that's why you really don't feel that extra weight. You don't feel any of the extra heat as well from the processing power. They do a very good job at cooling this thing off. The fan can be a little bit loud sometimes, but rarely do you notice it. And I believe it has slightly better speakers too that come out here on the side that offer just a little bit more sound quality as well. And then the controllers are quite a bit more compact and small, as you can see here. That doesn't have the halo ring around that kind of interferes with a lot of your hand movement here. Now it does add a little bit of protection in case you crash into the wall or something like that. But I think it is a little bit better to have smaller, more compact controllers that are just more easier to work with, for sure, as we've noticed. And let's see here. So they both operate on the same operating system. You have access to the same main area rooms and everything that the metaverse, has to offer and the store has to offer. So you're not going to be losing anything if you do go the Quest 2 route and go a little bit the cheaper option. You still get access to all those games and everything that Meta has to offer. And then the Quest 3 is just a little bit more snappier, I would say, less lagging, higher quality, and easier to use controllers. And so yes, the Quest 3 is slightly better in just about every category. They even say it does double the video quality. I really don't notice that. I notice a little bit more sharpness, a little bit more clarity, and slightly less lagging. But to be honest, there's really not too much difference compared to the Quest 2 and Quest 3. For an everyday, just average gamer, you don't notice it too much. Definitely recommend the Quest 3 if it's in your budget, but you really can't go wrong with either of these VR headsets. They're both very well made, come with a huge library of 500 plus games, and just a great way to get into the VR headset arena. And good price points for both. So highly recommend both of these. Put links to some of the extras that you can get, links to both of the headsets. Just like and subscribe, add any comments that you might have regarding this, and we'll try to answer them. But if you're in the VR marketplace, please look into either of these two headsets. You will not go wrong.